Take a look at the Strait of Hormuz. It is a narrow geographic bottleneck, and recently, Iran began dropping sea mines directly into these waters, effectively severing one of the world's most vital energy lifelines. These deep-water channels are heavily trafficked by commercial vessels, carrying a massive percentage of the global oil supply. By turning this strait into a minefield, Tehran instantly triggered a global crisis. Energy prices rose as ships were forced to halt or reroute. The political pressure to respond with overwhelming force was immediate. Allied leaders demanded action, with the U.S. president openly describing the British fleet as toys compared to the American Navy, demanding the UK deploy its massive aircraft carriers. But deploying a billion-dollar heavily manned aircraft carrier into a naturally shallow, narrow, and actively mined waterway creates a dangerous tactical situation. It provides Iran with exactly what it wants: a massive, slow-moving target trapped in a confined space. The United Kingdom made a highly calculated choice. They deliberately left their massive legacy aircraft carriers out of the Gulf region entirely. To defeat an asymmetric threat, where the enemy uses large numbers of cheap, scattered weapons like mines and drones, the British military concluded they didn't need a larger target on the water. They needed a new doctrine built on distributed warfare and networked defense. This specific conflict marks a shift in naval strategy. Rather than relying on brute force ships, London deployed a web of highly integrated, smart systems that prioritize information over armor. While mines blocked the sea, Iran also moved to dominate the air. Under the cover of darkness, they launched swarms of Cheek Delta-Wing Shahed kamikaze drones into the Gulf. To counter this, the UK deployed a two-pronged defense in the Kuwaiti desert. The first step was electronic. Orcus detects incoming drones and floods the airspace with invisible radio frequency waves, severing the drone's connection to its operator. Once paralyzed, kinetic destruction takes over. Ground-based rapid sentry batteries lock onto the jammed targets and blow them out of the sky. During a single night of operations, Royal Air Force artillery units picked off these targets, setting a military record by downing 14 kamikaze drones. By pairing electronic jamming with physical artillery, the British ground forces extinguished Iran's doctrine of cheap air superiority. The swarms were neutralized before they could even cross into Allied airspace. High above the desert, an invisible aerial wall was established. Stealth F-35s and high-speed Typhoon fighter jets logged an uninterrupted 1,200 hours of continuous patrol flights, dominating the upper atmosphere. But having fast jets in the air and sharp missile batteries on the ground creates a coordination problem. Without a unified way to talk to each other, these independent units risk targeting the same threat twice, or missing one altogether. The UK linked every asset into a single nervous system to share targeting data. On the water, HMS Dragon acts as the central router. It detects a threat and instantly feeds that targeting data to the jets and land batteries, automatically assigning the appropriate weapon. Beneath the surface lies the final, unseen layer. The HMS Anson, an Astute-class nuclear submarine armed with cruise missiles, patrols deep underwater, acting as a deterrent completely undetectable by Iranian coastal defenses. This multi-dimensional dome remains impenetrable because of the network. Its true strength is the automated, instantaneous relay of data between a jet, a submarine, and a ground battery, operating together as a single organism. But the physical blockade in the water remained. Clearing thousands of hidden naval mines from a narrow strait is historically one of the most dangerous and time-consuming tasks in maritime warfare. Instead of sending manned ships into the trap, London modified the RFA Lime Bay to serve as a floating command center for autonomous mine warfare. From this ship, the Royal Navy deploys fleets of 12-meter uncrewed surface vehicles. Powered by AI, these autonomous boats tow high-resolution sonars across the seabed, detecting and neutralizing hidden explosives with millimeter precision. This swarm approach allows the coalition to scan vast stretches of the seafloor and detonate multiple mines simultaneously. And because the vessels are fully autonomous, 0 human lives are put at risk. By replacing large, manned targets with an expendable, AI-driven swarm, the UK rapidly cleared the waterway and neutralized Iran's area denial strategy. The results on the ground were absolute. The autonomous fleets efficiently cleared the physical mines from the strait, while the integrated data network absorbed the retaliatory drone strikes. This demonstration of highly effective, low-risk technical warfare secured massive international backing. Witnessing the success of the autonomous systems, 35 different nations signed on to join the UK-led coalition to keep the strait open. Tehran's original strategy was designed to divide the UK from its allies. Instead, the technical success of the mine-clearing operation drew 35 nations into a single coalition, leaving Iran's blockade politically and militarily unsustainable. This conflict demonstrates that military power is no longer defined by the sheer tonnage of an aircraft carrier. Tomorrow's global conflicts will not be won by fielding the biggest targets. They will be won by the nations wielding the smartest AI, the most integrated data networks, and the most autonomous systems.